Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome back to another Assassin's Creed video. So in this video, I really want to talk about Assassin's Creed Red. I'm super excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage, but I thought I'd get my video on Assassin's Creed Red first because I do have some things to say and what I want to see in that game. So first up, I want to talk about the RPG problem that I think Valhalla had. I think the problem with Valhalla was that they went so far into the hack and slash RPG mechanics that it completely took away from the idea of you being an assassin and assassinating these NPCs. A lot of the mechanics in Valhalla and a lot of the activities are built towards just going in and invading these places. And yes, I understand that you were supposed to be a Viking, but this is an Assassin's Creed game, so why couldn't it be a Viking that also does stealth? A good example is when you're trying to invade these plots of land and you're trying to take over and raid their loot. The game wouldn't let you just sneak in there, kill everyone, and take all the loot and then leave and then have that completion of that area. You have to summon your characters to that area and then you'll be able to complete it, whether that means clearing out some NPCs, or maybe you killed out most of them and so on. That is directly against what the Assassin's Creed game is supposed to be, or at least one aspect of being an assassin in this world. So I don't want to see that in Assassin's Creed Red. I want the gameplay and the activities to be completed completely stealth without getting caught and assassinating your way through the base. I mean, you're supposed to be a ninja. Why would they do that? I hope they don't do that, but this is Ubisoft we're talking about, so you never really know. So that's what I don't want to see. I want to be able to complete these objectives and missions in stealth and have that completion of it. And next up, let's talk about the one-hit assassin kills. So I want those to return. Now, the QTE in Valhalla was a fantastic mechanic, don't get me wrong, but in Assassin's Creed Red, I don't want to see that. I don't want to have a QTE, or if it is in there, I want it to be an option like in Valhalla. Which brings me to a very important part that I really want to talk about, and that's customizing your experience in Assassin's Creed Red. So if you guys haven't played Assassin's Creed Breakpoint, they've updated it to the point where you can completely, and I mean completely, customize your gameplay. Even to the point where you can turn off the gear. And I think that would be a huge thing for Assassin's Creed Red. I think that would really work for the game. That way, for those who don't want to deal with the gear and don't want to have those spongy enemies, they don't have to have it in their game and they'll enjoy the game. And then for those who do want that RPG mechanic experience, they can just turn it on. In my opinion, I don't know why they don't do that more in these Assassin's Creed games. That way you can go through like an assassin. Now, that isn't the only part of making it feel like an Assassin's Creed game though, remember that. Because I think story is also very important here. I want this to be about the assassin. And what I mean by that is I want to start the game and I want to feel like it's about Assassin's Creed. I don't want it to be some kind of mystery. I don't want it to be some kind of mystical BS. To some extent anyways, you guys know what I mean. I want to see a character be introduced into the Creed and into this world like we do with the other game. I want to see their fight with the Templars. I want to see all of those things because I think that's when Assassin's Creed is at its best. Even the worst Assassin's Creed games from the past games still had an interesting story. I liked being engrossed into that world and into the Creed and all of those things with the Apple of Eden and all the pieces of Eden and all of that fantastic stuff. And the big problem with Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Odyssey and all of that is that yes, that is still in there, but it's not as prevalent throughout the whole game. That's what I loved about the older games. No matter what part of the story you were on, no matter what you were doing, it was always having to do with the Assassin's Creeds and the Templars. And whenever I would play through these newer games, I didn't really get a sense that I was working with the assassins or working towards the start of the assassins and so on, other than the first game. So I want that focus on those stories. I want to see the assassins. I want to see their hoods. I want to see them throughout the city maybe. Maybe you're dealing with some side characters that are part of the Creed and so on. I think that's one of the huge things that's missing with the story with all of these games. I was okay with it from the beginning with the first reboot of the Assassin's Creed because it was supposed to be a prequel, but now by the fourth game, we should be getting to that point where we start up with the Assassin's Creed Order and all that. That should happen by now. It's the fourth game. We should be delving into the start of the Assassin Order and all of those fantastic stories that we got to love with Edward and Ezio and all that kind of stuff. And all the assassins leading up to that. And next up, I want to talk about the AI. I do want fantastic AI in this game. I don't want buggy AI. I don't want stupid AI. I want smart AI. I think one thing that Ghost of Tsushima does really fantastic is bigger enemies that have more health pool. They're not so tanky to the point where you can't even kill them or it takes a long time to kill them. Yes, some enemies do take 3 or 4 hits depending on what your loadout is and stuff, especially in Legends, but you can kill them easily. It doesn't take a long time. So that's what I want to see in Assassin's Creed Red. I don't want to see these high level, high tanky enemies in this game. And next up, I want some kind of transmog system because I think it would be really cool to be able to change our outfits even if we have the same gear. I think every RPG RPG should have a transmog system, in my opinion. Whenever I play an RPG game that has a lot of different gear sets in them, I always think, man, I really like this style, but this one has better stats over here, and I'm forced to change it, and if we can't keep that style, it's really unfortunate because customizing your character in an RPG is really fun. And next up, I would like to see social stealth return in a big way. What I want to do is to be able to blend in with my surroundings. And I'm not talking about just, oh yeah, just a little bit, just here and there, these different activities that you can do that kind of make you blend in. No, I want to be fully blend in to the point where a guard can be walking right by me and they won't even notice me. That's what I want. I want to be a super stealthy assassin. That's what I really want from this game. I really want to be a ninja, an assassin. I mean, that's the whole point of this game. This is what we wanted. I mean, aside from the RPG mechanics, but I think you should be able to turn those off and play it like a regular Assassin's Creed game. Now, considering that this is Ubisoft and they have two different games, Assassin's Creed Mirage and Assassin's Creed Red, more than likely they won't put that in there. Because if we're all being honest, completely honest in what we're expecting from Ubisoft, the reason why we're doing Assassin's Creed Mirage and Assassin's Creed Red is because they want to put microtransactions in one and none in the other, which most likely I wouldn't doubt that some kind of form of monetization will happen with the Mirage too. But in Assassin's Creed Red, I definitely think they're going to put microtransactions in here, like they always do every single game. But then again, there are microtransactions in Breakpoint too, so maybe they won't, who knows? I don't know. I just want to be a super stealthy assassin in this game. I mean, this game is what we all wanted. We've been asking this for years upon years upon years, and this could be a really fantastic game. I just hope they don't screw it up like they did with Valhalla and Odyssey to some extent. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy playing those games, but there are a lot of things in those games that I just don't like or I think don't work. I think they work as a different type of game, but as an Assassin's Creed game, I don't think they work too well. And last up, I want to talk about the character itself. What I want to see is this character go through, I was gonna say go through a traumatic incident or something, but that's kind of messed up now that I think about it. But you guys get what I mean. I want there to be a reason, whether it be vengeance. A vengeance plot would be really cool. Like, I love vengeance plots in games, like Tales of Berseria or whatever it's called. I call it Tales of Bazillion. I really love that story, and I love those characters so far. Anyways, I finished most of the game. I'm just pretty much towards the end of the game, and I kind of dropped it for other games, but I really love revenge stories, so if it could be like a revenge story, that would be fantastic. Or maybe someone's trying to reclaim their throne or something. I think that would be really cool as well. Or maybe trying to reclaim a birthright. Or maybe it's a family situation where maybe the brother betrayed the sister or brother or so on. I think those story ideas that you typically see in games that are centered in Japan would be really fantastic. And then maybe he's full of hatred and vengeance, and through the assassins he finds out that no, I shouldn't be like that. I should be wanting to help people and all that kind of stuff that the Assassin's Creed teaches them. Controlling that anger and that vengeance, and using those new skills to help those around you and just the world, and the fight against Templars and so on. I think that would be really cool as well. I just want to have that classic Assassin's Creed story where you have a character that something happens to them, and then through certain events they find the assassins and they go and become an assassin, and they kind of figure out what's going on with this war and how it relates to them in their past or their future, and how they're connected to the other assassins and previous assassins from previous games, and maybe even future plots in the timeline. Like, all of those cool things that connect into this little world that Ubisoft have created are always fantastic. I mean, Ezio, they did a fantastic job. Honestly, I think Ezio is one of the best characters in the history of gaming, and I really want them to get back to that point, get back to those characters and get back to the fantastic stories and the characters surrounding them, like Leonardo da Vinci. Like, I love all of these characters. So I hope Assassin's Creed Red does fantastic with the story, the creed, the stats, the combat, the tools, the one-hit kills, and in the end we have two fantastic games, Assassin's Creed Mirage and Assassin's Creed Red. Because I think the fantastic thing that Ubisoft is doing right now is playing towards the older fan base and the newer fan base, having these two games. It's really fantastic because it pleases all fans, the people who want to go back to the original Assassin's Creed like me, and the people who like the RPG mechanics also like me. But if you're on just one side, you have a game for you, and if you're on the other side, you have another game for you, and if you're on both sides, you have two fantastic games that are really exciting for you. And I guess if you like mobile games, I guess you have that, but that's a whole nother thing.